Craving your next action-packed adventure? Audible delivers thrills of every kind on your command, like Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, where a lone astronaut must save humanity from extinction, narrated with stunning intensity by Ray Porter. From electrifying suspense and daring quest to spine-tingling horror and romance in far-off realms, unleash your adventurous side with gripping titles that'll keep you guessing. Discover exclusive Audible originals, hotly anticipated new releases, and must-listen bestsellers that hook you from the first minute. Because Audible knows there's no greater thrill than the one that speaks to you. Discover what lies beyond the edge of your seat. Start your free 30-day trial at audible.com/WonderyUS. That's audible.com/WonderyUS.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to What's Lust Got to Do with It. It's Hanaconda, and we are back with a brand new episode of the pod. I'm currently, if you're looking at this visually, you'll see that I'm currently sitting in front of a kitchen. I'm in the Sunshine Coast, about to do a little number here for Sunshine Coast. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. I'm very jet lagged. I've been to Canada. And I've been all around, but now I'm in the Sunshine Coast, about to do Sunshine Coast Mardi Gras, which I'm very excited for. I do apologize for yawning into your ear holes today. Oh my God, I feel inappropriate. But I'm really thrilled and excited for today's episode. My guest is a sister of mine from Sydney, who, by chance, happened to appear on RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Season 2 with me. It is none other than Pomara Fifth. And Pomara is just a gem of a human being, and we go on quite a journey, and I learned so much more about Pomara. I thought I knew Pomara pretty well, but some of the stories today that came out, I was gobsmacked. I was like, oh my God. And it just showcases the resilience, and it makes you understand how she's become so resilient and so strong and bold, and she really is just a one-of-a-kind human being, and I'm honored to have her here, and I'm so excited to have her infiltrate your little holes today with her stories and her laugh and her joy. But I don't want to waste any more time, so we're going to dive straight in with my beautiful guest, Pomara Fifth. Welcome back to What's Lust Got to Do with It, everybody. I'm so excited to finally welcome to the podcast experience my gorgeous sister from RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Season 2. It is Pomara Fifth! She's here.
Hi. Oh my God. Finally. I'm so honored to be here.
Oh, I'm so honored to have you. Honestly, it's I think it's been a while in the making, but it's all happened. We come together.
We're here. We're together again. Thank God.
Yeah.
The last time I saw you, I was driving down Newtown and saw your little gay suit and went beep beep. Hi.
Yeah. No, I saw you again since you were doing the Work the World. I came and saw you at the show.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Of course. Yes,
Yeah.
Right.
But I just wanted to introduce you to my friend, Miss Pimple.
I love her. What's her name?
Clarice.
Clarice. I love her. She's pretty.
Oh my God, she's so annoying. She's been there for days. I just wanted to go on, but hey, look, see, I can't be perfect. I'm not perfect.
Well, I don't know. Pretty damn close.
Well, coming from you, I appreciate that. Thank you. You look stunning today, Pomara Fifth.
Thank you so much, Hanaconda. Oh my God.
So what's been going on in your world? Tell the people about your life. What's happening?
Oh, fuck. I really considered coming on here because I thought, fuck, what am I going to talk about? I'm boring as shit.
No, you're not. Because you live so obviously drag is one facet of your job, but you've gone back into the corporate, well, not corporate pool. Is it corporate? No, human resources.
I guess we could call it corporate world to distinguish between the two. Because drag is certainly not corporate.
No, it's not. Well, sometimes. Depends.
Well, sometimes it could be. Yeah. So I went back into the workforce because, for our international listeners, we're currently going through a recession. So, I sort of went, I don't really enjoy being poor anymore. So
Yeah, and like, as some queens in America say, if you're not making big money, it's just a hobby. So
yeah, well, I love, you know what? I love whoever got to say that, because only an American queen could say that with the
yeah.
privilege of, you know, everything that they have.
Oh, fuck me. But yeah, so you're
Yeah.
back in, we'll touch on that later. We'll revisit and we'll circle back onto that. But yeah, is that so you do drag by night and
Yeah.
daytime. Can you talk about what you do?
Yeah. So I actually just finished up. I was a correctional officer. I was in community corrections, and now I work for child protection.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
The ins and outs of that must be insane.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. I will honestly say, when I left school and I became a nurse,
mm,
I will honestly say that probably corrections was probably the hardest thing, the busiest and most full-on job I've ever experienced, like ever.
yeah.
But also one of the most toxic places to work, unfortunately.
Well, like with the workforce or with the
Yeah, with the work, with the
ah,
job itself, the job I loved.
yeah.
Loved the work. Anything where there's enacting change and rehabilitation and all of that, I love that work. How do I put it? They were cunts.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Do you think
Not not everyone, like, don't get me wrong, there are some really lovely people in the service that are really doing the absolute best they can, and they got into it for the right reasons. But
yeah.
there are a lot more people who are just there for being there because it's one of the highest paid government jobs in all of Australia, actually in the Southern
Wow.
Hemisphere.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, so
That
we
is
were the
fascinating.
highest paid trainees in like the whole Southern Hemisphere.
Oh, wow.
Like
So dinner on Pomara.
my starting rate was 97,000 a year.
Jesus. But I suppose, like, you say, like, but it's a job that you kind of want to make sure that people are incentivized to do the best work. Cause it's like,
Yeah, because we have to go train as well. So I have to go to the academy and we have to train for 12 weeks and go through all of that. And then not only that, but we're also kind of risking our
your
safety because we have
lives.
to go and do home visits, and we're telling criminals and murderers and sex offenders that, they're about to be breached and be sent back to custody, and people do kick off, people lose their shit, you have to just sort of be assertive and know your shit and know what you're doing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that is such a fascinating industry. And like, I suppose, like, you put yourself into that position where you're almost dictating what someone's life is going to be. Like,
yeah,
I can imagine that, like, that's endangering to your safety as well. Like,
yeah,
because they don't
yeah.
see. I'm assuming a lot of them wouldn't be like self-aware to go, oh well, I smoked crack again. Whoopsie! Now I've got to go back. Whoopsie! But it's your fault.
Yeah, but you made me do it. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of it's really funny because like there are those people that will say like, "Yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up
Yeah.
again." And we've had this massive reform in the government where we're not penalizing, or it's not about penalizing anymore. It's more about assisting and enacting change. So
Mm.
instead of being like, "Oh, well, you fucked up. Off you go, back to custody." But now it's more so, okay, well, like, great. What are we doing now? Like, how do
To
we
fix it.
move forward?
Yeah.
And I will say that unfortunately within the job there's a lot of red tape.
Yeah.
And so it really, really prevents us from actually really doing any change, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Because like,
Um,
do you see that it's like because I've watched a lot of shows talking about like rehabilitation of people like criminals and that kind of stuff. And
yeah,
they find that a lot, like people just get stuck in that cycle,
yeah,
constantly, going in and out of the system. And
yeah.
do you see that is it a system designed to be like that a little
The
bit?
system is a really old system. The system is really, really broken. It's really fractured. And unfortunately, yeah, you do have those people that are on the carousel of custody corrections. You've also got a lot of bad people in the service that, aren't helping. There's also a lot of broken, corrupt people on the inside as well that
Mm.
aren't helping.
Yeah.
Not to mention that we get no funding. It's crazy. It's really hard to really enact change for the people that don't want to or don't know how. We get these 100 we get 130 hours a month, and that can be like 30 offenders on our caseload that we have to deal with. And then all of them are ranked by, a different ranking of their assessments that we do with them in the first place. And some of them can be really high, some of them can be quite low, but it depends. Like, if they're really high, you have to do more with them. If they're medium, you do, so it goes down that line. And it
Mm.
also just depends on your office as well. If your office is super smashed and there is such a high rate of activity in your area that you govern, you can go through different stages. So the broken part I sort of speak about is like, we can be a level 2 office where we're suspending people that have some counts of DV, some counts of grievous bodily harm. We're getting rid of those because they're not high enough for us. We have too many high people to look after. So
Mm.
it's a really broken system. There are some really corrupt people at the top of it, and it's really hard. It's really hard to sort of navigate your way through it. And I thought, this is not what I thought it was going to be. This is not, and not only that, but coming in as, and you've known me for what, 10 years?
Years,
Years and
10
years.
years, yeah.
And so going in as myself
Mhm.
into a world that doesn't see that,
Yeah.
into an
Yeah.
office environment that doesn't really see that, is very different. It is
Did you do you mean like in terms of the fact that you're a very gay,
like,
flamboyant woman on the woman game working hard?
yes, like full puss, like, yeah. And
Yeah,
they
well,
don't.
'cause
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
See it.
yeah, because and that's the thing. You're like for 10 years I've known you. You've always been authentically yourself. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You don't ever mince your words. You're a very like bold, fierce, strong woman, and I think that's why you have the strength to do jobs like this. And I've known that you do this, but like I'm excited to hear what people think. Like knowing your drag persona, but seeing this other side of you.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a juxtaposition
yeah.
between the two worlds, but now and since getting out of that, and my job became so stressful towards the end, and this was
Mm.
around, I think, November, December last year. And I've always been someone who has struggled really bad I have clinical depression and anxiety. I also have really bad PTSD from early on. And so a lot of that started to come back. And I
Yeah.
have been sort of, I guess, what would be the word? Like, I guess in remission, I guess, of
Yeah,
not.
or you feel like you've got it managed. It's
Yeah, I
like
was.
yeah, it's like it's not affecting you as heavily in your day to day.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was. It was super managed and I was under control. And, I hadn't had any sort of flare ups or any dramas with myself, for a while. And then it sort of just started coming back and I was going, oh my God, like, what is happening? And then it got so bad that my hair just was falling out in clumps.
Oh Jesus.
And I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
time to
God,
go.
this is a problem. I've never had this before. I was working, I'd get up in the morning, I'd go to work, I'd be at work at like 8 a.m. I'd work all day until about 6 p.m. And then I'd come home and I'd log on and I'd still be doing work. And I was just like, I can't do this. And then the environment I was in, the people in the office were, some of them were cunts. And I was just like, I can't do this. And I'm happy to fight. I'm happy to
Yeah.
fight and push against that, but it gets exhausting.
Yeah, and it's only so much you can take, especially
Yeah.
like that uphill battle when you know that, like, I think I'm assuming that it was like you see that the wall is just being reinforced every time you break through it a little bit.
Yeah,
That
every
is like,
time.
what are we doing?
Yeah. And so I
Mm.
thought, well, like, I just can't. I
Mm.
have to take a back seat. Don't get me wrong, I'm still following that up because I'm not letting people get away with it.
Yeah, good.
But I'm now in a much comfier job. I have really no responsibilities, to be honest, and smashing
You
it.
can, yeah, so you can go do your job and then come out. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I love it. I don't need to stay behind. It's really, really perfect for me for where I am at the moment. I'm still on flex time, which is amazing. We love flex time.
What's a flex time?
So it's only sort of government that have flex time. So you have core hours. So you only really
Yeah.
need to do 5 hours a day, right? And then you have seven.
Oh.
If you do your 7 hours, that goes towards flex. And you can
Okay.
take a flex at any point if you have enough flex built up. And you can just be like, oh, I'm taking a flex next week, you know. So yeah, if you want days off, you can just take a flex.
I love a flex.
Yeah, but it also means that I don't need to start at 9. I can start anywhere between 10:30 and 7 a.m. and I can finish
10:30
anywhere.
10:30 and 7 p.m.
No. 10. So sorry, I said that around the wrong way. So anywhere between
7
like
a.m. and
7:30
10
a.m. to
Oh, okay, yeah. I was
10:30
like,
a.m.
what is this? What clock do the government use? Are we being fooled by the government?
Well, you only have to be there. You have to be at work between like really 10 and 3. 10
Yeah.
and 3. But you can finish and start anytime before and after that.
Do you find that kind of working hours situation, do you find that incentivizes you to work harder?
It actually does because you never end up doing less your minimum hours. You're
Yeah.
so smashed and you're like, all right, I'm gonna get in at this time and then smash it out and be done by like 4 p.m. and then go home. And you're never done by 4 p.m. But it is perfect. It's really good for drag because I
Yeah.
could be like, I have a gig at like 8 p.m. Like I'm out like by 3.
Are you doing
So-
more drag now at this job than you were at the last one?
No.
Oh, your drag sort of
I'm-
maintained?
Yeah, it's probably the same. I think ever since sort of like coming off Drag Race,
Yeah.
it's really been like a lot of online stuff, which I'm so fine with because I'm chucking a RuPaul right now.
She's in her track pants.
I'm in my track pants and my slippers.
That's the way.
That's it. And it works for me because I just like, I sit here, finish doing my makeup, get ready, and then I just present myself to a camera.
I love it. It's so fascinating, Pum. Like you just really, like you are one of those people that I think has so many layers to them that I don't think people from the surface realize.
Oh, I'm an
what you
onion,
do.
yes.
Oh, she's Shrek, Mama. She's
Shrek, Mama. Come and suck on these ogre nips.
But have you, because you are a very strong-willed, a very bold, like human, like you're very confident in what you say and what you do. You don't fuck around, like you don't beat around the bush. Have you been like that your whole life? Or is that something skills you've developed later on?
No, I think as a child, I was insanely shy. I had a really bad lisp. I didn't really talk a lot. Like I was really shy. I was really introverted. And then I think it was, getting bones broken through bullying that really built a strong character. No.
What do you mean? What did they do?
I have been set on fire.
What?
When I was at school, kids thought it was really funny to set the faggot on fire.
What? Which school did you go to?
Do you know what's really funny? I went to a performing arts school. Yeah.
Were they like, oh my god, we're gonna do Joan of Arc?
Legit. I was like, I'm like in the Hunger Games. They're like Katniss Everdeen. Like,
oh my god, the school needs to be reprimanded. Oh my god! All right, I can't believe you said. I'm sorry for laughing. I just can't.
No, it's so fine. We laugh through trauma. We love
do.
it.
We really do.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, I had, a kid decided one day it was really funny to bring knuckle dusters to school and hit me until I couldn't take it anymore. Fun fact, I held my ground. Was I completely black and blue? Yes.
Yes.
But I held my ground.
Oh my
And
God.
the sad thing is that was in a classroom
What
during
did the
class.
teacher do?
Well, I was, he had said like if you say anything, I'm gonna stab you. And he had a knife. And I was like, oh, well shit. So I had to sit there and take it during the whole double lesson. And then I think after that, another thing occurred where they basically said, we're finished, we're gonna find you after school and we're gonna finish it. And they had knives, and
God.
so I had to get I had to get, my mum worked just down the road at that time. And so my principal and the teacher had to literally escort me to my mum's work for my safety.
And now.
Yeah. So I think through all of that, I kind of just, I had enough. I was getting over it at that point.
Oh yeah, I think you have every right to be getting over that.
Ah,
Jesus Christ!
I thought, all right, I've had enough.
Yeah,
This isn't
I know.
fun.
I don't want to be I don't want to be on fire anymore.
I'm not
wanna
having
be-
fun anymore. This isn't fun for me anymore. I'm done here, kids. So yeah, I started revolting and speaking back and hitting back, and you know me, I'm a 6'1", built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah.
So I thought, what am I doing? I could just throw these cunts.
Yeah.
I did. I ended up getting in a lot of fight, and then I was expelled.
Oh, it's always the way the victim becomes the bully. Bastards.
And then so by the time I went to my second school, which was my local, I was like much more mouthy and much like, kind of standing my ground a lot more. And I think that just started to develop over years. And then when I found drag, I was like, oh my God, like I really love being this person. And that's where we sort of get into like gender identity and all of that, because that was such a journey. And it's, still after 10 years, I haven't quite exactly pinpointed and figured it out, but I'm a lot closer than what I was when I started. And so that sort of really helped with that process. And where I am today is because of all of these things happening in my life and going through high school and then coming out of high school. And then I got really sick and I was in and out of hospital and I died. And I was like, well, again.
Not
I
again.
died for the second time again. I was like, fuck.
Have you died twice?
I have. I've been clinically dead twice.
What was the first one?
I had brain cancer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where was this? How old were you when you had your cancer?
I was 2.
Fuck, you were a little bubby.
I was a baby.
Oh my God. You're just a ball of resilience.
Thank you. It's taken me like a long time to sort of see it from that perspective. For a long time, I was like, why does this keep happening to me?
Yeah, what have I done?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Yeah, and then the second time I had a complicated surgery where I was allergic to the anesthetic and the muscle relaxant. So I went into full shock and my heart stopped and they had to try and revive me. And yeah, so I had breathing tubes and shit. Yeah, it was all fucked.
You're so fucked. So does that mean you can't use like an anal ease lubricant because like, it's the muscle relaxant in them?
Well, it's not that I'm allergic to them. I just don't have use for them.
Oh, you funny little bitch. But you know what? I just that just because I didn't even know some of those things, and that is like it makes like that makes sense that you're so resilient because you're like nothing. I've done what more can the world throw at me?
What else?
Okay, let's just keep on going. Like that is. Like that is a credit to you, and I hope people that are listening out there today they realize, like no matter what life throws at you, you can keep on.
Like don't get me wrong, I've always had the perspective of like what I went through was shit, but there are people out there that are going through way worse right now, and there are people that still have it worse than what I did, and I'm not going to use the word inspire because this isn't an Oprah talk show, but I try to sort of give that perspective to people that it's like, like shit sucks, like shit's hard, life is fucking hard, and shit happens left, right, and center, and you never know when what's going to be around the corner the next day. And so my sort of look on life, I think this year and more so some of last year, is more like life is fucked at the moment, don't get me wrong, but it's also very it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's fun. You know, nothing is that serious. And
It puts it in perspective.
yeah, it really does.
When you go through shit like that, like it really puts into perspective the joyful things that you get to do.
Yeah. Instead of being like, oh, I didn't do that right. And now I'm more on the other side where I'm like, I didn't do it right, but I still had a great time doing that. You know, Drag Race, for example. It's like, wow.
Well, that was quite the moment.
Wasn't it?
It was
a moment.
Yeah, I had fun with everyone. Like I loved our season. I'm very proud of it. Like because I think
our season is the best season. I will just say that. I'm sorry to the other 30 girls, but
I'm sorry, but we kicked it in the absolute cockorama.
Really fucking full high kicked it. Not like a Mistress Isabel Brooks kick, but like a
to the face,
like an ostrich leg. It went back. It went further back, right in the dick.
Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. I was a little, what's the word? Not naive, but like a little too off with the fairies, I think. I was really enjoying the time so much that I never really thought about an entrance line, and I never thought about an exit line. I mean, why would you think about an exit line? I didn't plan to leave, but but I didn't think about those things, and it wasn't until we got in the van and we had to get out of the van, and they said, "Well, you're going to go and do your entrance," and I went,
"Oh,
what do I say?"
Thank God you went with your classic how you enter every room. Hello.
I thought, like, what is something that's very me? And I thought, oh, I'm fat. When is lunch? Because that was a serious question on my mind. I'm starving.
And by that point, it was nearly time for lunch. We were starving. Everyone was like, "Come on, let's get some food in us."
Yeah, let's go. I was like, all right, well that'll do. I didn't want to be the drama. I'm not the drama.
You're not the drama. Yeah. Well, inadvertently.
Yeah, I was the drama. But then I thought, oh fuck it, it's all fun, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I got eliminated, I really thought I'd be super bummed, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
Because I was, I think, so overwhelmed. You know, my ADHD was kicking in high gear. At that point, when we're waiting for the lip sync, I'm starting to count how many air conditioning vents are in the room. And I'm like, Mama, like, you're about to lip sync for your life, sweetie. Check back in, girl.
Yeah.
But I had a great time. I loved doing the lip sync, you know. And then when I left, I was like, cool, like I did that, you know. I did that. I didn't need to win. I never planned on winning. I never thought I'd be the winner. I just wanted to do it and say that I did it and have a great time. And we were with such a good group of girls that I really did. I had a good time.
Yeah,
like,
I'm glad.
I wish I stole more shit.
I know, we should have stolen more stuff from
you know what I wish I did? I wish I stole those cherubs.
Oh my God. No, they were on hire. They were hired. I found that out. Because when we dressed them up at the end, when we were dressing them up, they came up and they said, "They're hired. They're hired." And I was like, "Oh, sorry." So they're trying to scrub it all off. And as they were scrubbing it off, it's like taking the paint off the top of the cherubs. And we're like, "Oh, so sorry."
Well, they didn't get that deposit back.
That's drag. Don't
hire fucking cherubs.
Don't buy them. You can get them from Bunnings. They're so cheap.
Just leave them. No, leave them there. Leave them. No one needed them.
I know the cherubs are always a point of contention for people. They're like, why? But I suppose it's very like that, you know, that Greek, like Italian house, you know.
In Australia.
Yeah. Do you have seen them?
Yeah, no, I've seen them.
Like out the West and like in Perth, it's like, you know, they've got the columns and the statues and it's very bizarre.
I've seen them. I've seen them, but Mama, we're not walking into the Pentagon or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I know, the Pantheon.
Yeah, we're not walking in there, sweetie. Yeah. We're in and they were just there. Like,
no, I know. It was
we
so
could
weird.
Out of every choice, out of every option under the sun, we went with that.
Cherubs.
We'll get some stone cherubs in. That'll do.
It makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
But I think on the Drag Race journey, one of the things that was like, a big poignant moment for you was obviously your relationship with Minnie, and that obviously there was flares and tensions. But how is your relationship with our beautiful Minnie Cooper now? What's the vibes?
You know what? Me and Minnie Cooper are like BFFs.
I know it. Yay!
Yeah. It's like she'll call me, I'll call her, like, and our conversations, like, will be going on for like 2 hours. And then she'll be like, all right, Pomara, like, all right, up the bum, no babies. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're right.
That's cool. See you later. Yeah.
Honestly, it makes me so happy to know that, like, where you guys are now, because I think you both just as people just have grown and like
Totally.
and you've come together, and like, and that's a testament to you both. And I think that, like, I want to just give you your flowers for that, and same to Minnie. Like, you both wear your heart on your sleeve. You're very just who you are, and there's no fucking around about it. Like, you're just authentically yourselves. And I think maybe that was the beginning of why there was tension to now. But you've both just being able to be honest with each other is a quality that I wish more people will take.
Totally.
So just kudos for you for just being able to break that down. And same to you, Minnie, if you're listening. It's really nice to see you both being friends. It's lovely.
It is, and it's really nice. And Minnie and I actually share quite a lot of similarities in that aspect about how we are as people and how we walk through the world. It's really nice, and it's good to talk about those and share the experiences and all of that sort of stuff, and the goods and the bads, because we both sort of, as similar as we are, we also both have two different differences. We both have a point of difference that we've experienced that we can sort of share and relay to each other. So it's really good, and I really enjoy her company, and I really enjoy talking to her, and she's great. She is super great, and I know I wish I had that opportunity. I wish we were in this space now for Drag Race, but also without me and Minnie fighting, really. I mean, like, we were the stars. So
You gave us the talking points, that's for sure, for the drama shows. But I don't think you need, like, I think, like, that's just the journey we're on.
Life is a constant journey,
Yeah.
and you cannot, I think, because of everything that I'd been through in my life, I started to try and control aspects of my life and try and control how people perceived me and, the narrative of my life, and control certain aspects. And you just cannot do that. Life is just too wild and too unpredictable to do that. And you're never truly authentic in that aspect,
When you're trying to control it, and
I wanted to be everyone's friend, and I didn't want any drama, and I wanted to have a great time and control, that aspect of my life and be friends with everyone, and everything's fine. And you just can't do that.
And it's too exhausting. Why would you want to?
It's fucking exhausting. And so now I'm more like, well, you know what? If you want to paint me as the villain, or you want to paint me as the bad guy, that's totally fine. I don't mind being the bad guy in your narrative, but I know who I am. So
who are you? Who is Pomara?
Who is Pomara? That's age-old question. What is Pomara?
What is a Pomara, and why is it fifth?
and why is it the fifth one? When is Pomara actually? When? Fifth.
It's a movement. It's a movement.
It is a movement. It is.
Yeah.
It is. But so life is great. Kumbaya. Drag Race was a moment. There were a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts. It's not only that, but we also had the quarantine.
That was hard.
That was horse shit.
Yeah, before we filmed Drag Race, we had 10 days. Was it 10? Yeah, 10 days of quarantine in a hotel in New Zealand. Pomara and I used to do video calls every day, and she'd be rhinestonning. And I remember my favorite day was when you were there, and you're like, oh, I can see Botha, Reese, and who else was out there?
Molly.
And they were like out there. So I could see them out there having a cigarette in the smokers area. And then so she would open the curtain and bang on the door, and they would be chatting together. And then they just scatter like little rats and run away. And it was so funny. She'd bang on the door because they're not meant to be talking. Oh, it was so funny. So good.
Fun times. Straight after that, I went out. We had an hour walk straight after that. And I noticed a girl laying on the ground, and I thought, she's not right. I went over to her. She was having
Oh
a
my,
seizure. I had to give her
that's
fucking
right.
I had to give her fucking CPR. And then they were like, and I said, is there anyone here that is, you know, another trained person? And luckily for us, or lucky for her, there was actually a trained paramedic that we were quarantining with.
Yeah.
And so she came over to assist. And so her and I were there. And I'm like yelling at these people, like, call 111, because that's the
Number in New Zealand.
Yeah. And I'm like, stop standing there and watching, like, go and do something. Like, this girl's bleeding out of her mouth. I thought, what the fuck is happening? I had no idea what was going on. And I just tried to get her stable. And so the medical people from inside finally came out and assisted. And the guards then took us both, me and this lady, took us both and said, apologies, you'll have to now do 72 hours isolated quarantining. So we had to stay in our rooms, those poxy little ibis rooms, for 72 hours and have military escort to our own little den that we could walk around in for 72 hours. And I thought, fucking shoot me.
Yeah. And like, because that knocked you back as well. They were going to keep you in longer.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, you could be contaminated now.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was like, you're fucking joking. So, rule of thumb,
Mama.
everyone, don't save people's lives. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Plum, honestly, you were a light and a joy in this world. And I honestly am just over the moon that I get to call you a friend and a sister.
Ditto.
You ditto twofold, doll. Ditto twofold.
Ditto twofold to you, doll.
But with all the things that you've experienced in your life, and I haven't asked per se, because obviously the podcast about loss, haven't really asked about things that you've lost, but like you've touched on things in your life, the things that have come and things that are gone, things that you've experienced. From those things that you've lost and those things that you've experienced, what have you found through it all?
If we are going to touch on loss, you know, I have forever lost a part of me that I was. You know, whether that's a good or bad thing yet, I don't know. But I am definitely a different person now. And through all of that, yeah, you do lose an aspect of yourself. It goes away.
Yeah.
But I think what I found now is more of a clarity and more of a purpose and a definite sense of self. So,
Yeah.
you know, I can now walk through the world where I am now 32 and know who I am and know what I'm about and know why I do things and what I want from life and what I want from people and what people would want from me and all of that. So I definitely am grateful for that. I'm definitely grateful for the things I found and also being mindful with my time as well, like not my literal time, but like my energy and what I give to people and, you know, how much I give to people. So I'm super mindful of that now. And it's very good. It's very good for my mental health. But yeah, I think that's definitely the biggest thing that I've found. And not only that, I've also found that like I'm so hot that people just want to fuck me all the time. And I love it.
That's great. That's a very important thing to find, you know.
I found so much dick and I love it.
Oh, that's a good takeaway. I appreciate that, Pomara Fifth.
You can take them away. It's great.
I'll have that dick to go.
I'll have that one to go.
Oh, Mama, you make me laugh. Oh, well, thank you for joining me on the pod. Before you go, where can the people find you? Where do you want me to direct them? Have you got anything coming up that you want us to tell? Want to spruik? This is your moment.
Oh my God, what do I do? Right. You can find me at Instagram, on Instagram, Pomara.Fifth. That's Fifth. Unlike the book that Hannah and I were in, came out, and my name was Pomeranian. Yeah, you can find me at Pomara.Fifth and same on TikTok, same on, don't look at X.
Is that for something else? He's just never on there.
I'm just never on there.
Oh, okay, good idea. Good, okay, great.
Yeah, I'm just never on it. So yeah, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me perusing the streets of Sydney like a common whore, and you can also find me in the western suburbs, perusing the streets like a common whore.
Love that. Well, keep your eyes out and keep your eyes peeled for Pomara Fifth on the streets like a common whore. But yeah, Pomara, thanks for joining me. I love you.
Thank you, Hannah.
You're a dream. And my friends, we'll be back after this. Oh my gosh. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Pomara, thank you for joining us. I told you at the start, it is a wild ride. This bitch has been on a journey of life. I'm gobsmacked. It took my breath away, some of the things that have occurred in her life. And I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing out of awkwardness. And like my mind is blown. But it just make sense of just how resilient is. She inspires me and just she makes me want to see the good in the world, even though sometimes it can be a little bit challenging. So I really thank you, Pomara, for sharing your story and sharing those experiences, because they are quite tough, and I can't imagine having experienced all those things. But I'm really just so glad that you're here with us and that you get to share your light with us in this world. You know, people like you make this world a better place. So thank you so much, Pum, for joining us. Make sure you go and follow Pomara and keep abreast with all things Pomara Fifth. But for now, I've got to do a little segment that I like to call Healing Hands. As my name is Hanaconda, people call me Little Hands, and I have healing hands because I did my certificate 1 in Reiki, which means I can heal if my hands are placed upon things. Certificate 2 was where you could do the remote healing. I haven't done that, but I'm manifesting it in my own mind that I am healing the world via my podcast. So this is Healing Hands, and I usually pop out a little question box on my Instagram, so keep an eye out that. Hanaconda's Hanaconda Official is my Instagram. So I usually pop out a little question box asking if people need advice or help or healing, but I didn't today because I actually wanted to touch on something that I saw online, where all good things happen in the online space. A sister of ours from the American Drag Race franchise is talking about how drag was, you know, if your goal is to get onto Drag Race, then drag is only a hobby, and that people should be aspiring to make more money. And it's, you know, look, the video's out there circulating. I don't want to go too hard into it, and I don't want my sister to receive any hate. I just want to kind of put out there that I'm really nervous and uncomfortable that art is being commodified so much. I understand that drag is a business, because it is a business for us. Drag is a business. Drag is also a hobby for other people. But it's just because you've been on Drag Race doesn't make your business more legitimate. I know drag queens and drag artists that have been working for years and years and years, making such an incredible living, living their life, being fabulous, and support their life, and they've bought houses and do everything, and they have never been on Drag Race before, have no interest in doing it. Drag Race does not make or break you as an artist or as a business owner or anything. I just hate the commodification of putting all these layers on top of what art is and what drag is, and having people judge us by the fact that, you know, some people have done Drag Race, some people haven't done Drag Race. And like, I just feel in my mind, I just feel we need to stop judging each other and stop invalidating other people's experiences and other people's journeys and commodifying them and rating them and ranking them by what they've appeared on or what they've done. I don't know. And it comes back to also like social media, you know, why do we look at someone and say they're a better drag queen than this person because they've got more followers and they make more money or this or that? You know, I mean, we're putting all these layers on that I just think are so unnecessary. And I just would like people to strip all that back, take all that away, because it's invalidating people and it's invalidating our community, and it's putting wedges and levels and barriers and putting ceilings on people and saying they can't break through that unless they've done this. And it's just not the way that it should be. We're meant to be all lifting each other up. Drag Race is meant to be another level if you want to go there and you want to do that, but it doesn't invalidate your experience as an artist that hasn't done it. And I just hate that we put all that on each other, and it's just not needed. The community as a whole is going through so many different things that we should really try to take a moment to be together and actually uplift each other rather than pushing down. And I know the queen that said this stuff, she said that, you know, she didn't mean it, but like, that's fine. I'm glad you didn't mean it, but we also got to be careful about what we're saying, because people hear these things, and then not only does it, that mindset and that idea that some artists are worth less than others because they haven't been on a TV show sinks in, and then it comes out, and then it turns people away from going to their local venues and going to their local shows and going to be amongst their community, because they will only go to the shows that Drag Race girls do. And then that's a problem, you know? So I just think we need to be a bit more mindful about the platforms we have and the things that we're saying, and not to be shitting on other other people. It's just not needed. There are too many other things going on in the world that we need to be careful and mindful of what we're saying and what we're doing. And that goes for everybody. I think we all need to be a bit more mindful about what we say and what we're doing and stop acting so quickly and stop valuing yourself and what you do and each other on how many followers you have. We don't need to do that. That's shit. We're human beings. You should value each other on just being like a decent person that pays your taxes, that just does your job, that's easy to work with, and just being a productive member of society. Like, I just don't feel like you need to value someone on the amount of followers that they have. I just think it's shitty, and it's getting into that Black Mirror kind of way of life. And I don't think we need to go there, kids. We don't need to do it. So go out and hug each other, love each other, and if you don't like each other, well then just don't talk to each other, don't engage, just move on. But like, I don't know, just try and be a better person and stop saying stupid shit. But that's my rant for today. I don't know. I've got my feelings. My feelings are feeling at the moment. But anyway, I love you. Thank you for listening to another episode of What Sauce Got to Do With It. It's an absolute joy and a dream to be able to come into your world once a week and share stories. And so that's what humanity is, after all, just a sharing of stories. But I love you. Have a great week. Thank you to Pomara, and a thank you to you, my listeners. But for now, I'm going to leave it to it. Have a great week. I love you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.